Hinduism is the oldest living religion in the world and the third largest. More than 1 billion Hindus live in 150 different countries, mostly in India. The United States alone is home to over 2 million Hindus. Origins of Hinduism. To find the distant beginnings of Hinduism, we have to go back over 6,000 years to the Saraswati-Indus region of the Indian subcontinent. This vast area extends from Sri Lanka in the south to the Himalayan mountains in the north, from the Arabian Sea in the west to the Bay of Bengal in the east. The Saraswati-Indus civilization developed here, eventually becoming the world's largest and most advanced, surpassing even those of Egypt, Mesopotamia, and China. The civilization is named after the area's two great river systems, the Saraswati and the Indus. It is called the Vedic culture after the earliest Hindu sacred text. It is also known as the Harappan culture after the site of its first discovery in 1920. This was an urban culture centered around many highly organized cities, some with populations of 80,000, which was rare in those days. The cities were connected by trade routes which extended west to Mesopotamia and east to Central Asia. Hindu beliefs, practices, and saints. The religion of this land, Hinduism, has always been open-minded and tolerant, with the belief that truth is one, paths are many. Thus, Hindus respect all other religions. Hinduism is the only major religion that worships God in both male and female form, as well as with and without any attributes. The original Sanskrit name for Hinduism is Sanatana Dharma, meaning eternal religion. Most Hindus believe in a supreme God, many gods and goddesses, spiritual worlds, the divinity of the soul, dharma, karma, reincarnation, God realization, and liberation from rebirth. The Supreme God is known by various names depending on region and denomination. Brahman, Bhagavan, Shiva, Shakti, Vishnu, and more. He/she is all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving, eminent, that is, present in all things, and transcendent, beyond them as well. God exists within each person as Atman, the divine soul. God realization describes the experience of the divine within oneself. This profound encounter with God is regarded as the ultimate goal of life. Hindus teach that every human being can know God personally. Hindus also worship other divinities. Each divinity has distinct powers and areas of responsibility. For example, Lord Ganesha is the remover of obstacles, Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge, and Hanuman is the god of service and devotion. Each Hindu freely chooses the deities he or she wishes to worship. Reincarnation is the central Indian belief that the soul, Atman, is reborn in a new body time and time again to grow and mature through all the experiences human life has to offer. Eventually, every soul achieves salvation by realizing its oneness with God and is no longer reborn. Hindus do not believe in a Satan or an eternal hell. Worship is central to a Hindu's life. So, every Hindu home has a place of worship. It may be as simple as a shelf with pictures of deities, or an entire room dedicated to the family's daily worship. A worship ceremony called puja, performed elaborately or very simply every day in the temple or in the home shrine, invokes the divine beings for blessings and happiness. The puja ceremony includes sacred chanting, bathing the image of the deity, offering food, flowers, incense, and other sacred substances, and the waving of lights. Hindus practice yogic disciplines every day called sadhana. Sitting on the floor, often in a yoga posture, they chant, sing devotional hymns, repeat the name of God while counting on beads, or simply meditate in stillness and silence. The temple is revered as the home of God. There are millions of temples in India, many quite ancient. The most important of these mystically designed structures cover hundreds of acres and receive thousands of pilgrims each day. Every Hindu is expected to pilgrimage to temples and holy places far and wide. These pilgrimages unify the religion as tens of millions of people travel throughout the subcontinent and interact. Hinduism has a rich history of sages and saints, both men and women, from all castes. Some of the great saints wrote detailed explanations of the Upanishads and related scriptures, such as Adi Shankara in the 8th century CE, Ramanuja in the 11th, and Vallabhacharya in the 15th. Others, including Sambandar, Mirabai, and Tukaram, expressed their experience of God through devotional songs. Recent saints include Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Anandamayi Ma, Swami Narayan, and Shirdi Sai Baba. Millions of Swamis and other saintly souls make up the spiritual leadership within Hinduism. Swamis have renounced the world and taken up spiritual life full-time. Special among these are the gurus, enlightened men and women who serve as religious teachers. Some gurus have millions of followers, others are humble hermits. Hinduism has no central organization and no single dogma. No one person or institution is in charge. Instead, there are thousands of independent guru lineages, spiritual traditions, monastic orders, and religious institutions.